recreating the look from Beyonce's video Ghost. In that video, her look was definitely all about the au naturel skin look. She didn't really have any like focal points like her eyes or her lips. It was just all about healthy, glowing skin. So that's the look that we'll achieve for today on our model. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to assess Dawan's face and see what she needs done. And I can tell that she's going to need her eyebrows groomed just a little. So with the razor and the tweezers, I'm going to groom her eyebrows. After I finish grooming her eyebrows, I'm going to take a step back and just see how they're looking. I don't want to take too much of her eyebrows off because Beyonce kept a pretty natural look for her eyebrows in all of her videos for this visual album. So I want to keep the eyebrows pretty full. Just keep in mind that eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So sometimes it's okay for one eyebrow to be just a little slightly different than the other one. So next, after I do Dawan's eyebrows, I am going to cleanse, tone, and moisturize her face. Well, actually, I'm going to take a baby wipe and wipe her face off as part of prepping her skin. Just a sensitive baby wipe with no fragrance is good to use. It's good to use a non-fragrance wipe or makeup wipe because you don't know if your clients have any allergies. So it's better to stay safe than sorry. And after I wipe her face with the baby wipe, I'm going to spray her face with a toner. On the count of three, I'm gonna spray your face, okay? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. What the toner does is it helps bring the skin back to its normal pH balance, and it helps to remove any extra oils or dirt that you didn't get off with the baby wipe. So I'm gonna just go and blot it into her skin. And prepping the skin is really important when you're applying your makeup because it helps your makeup to last longer. It gives it a nice smooth surface to adhere to. I like to think of it as like when you're polishing your nails, you know how you have a base coat and then you put your nail polish color on and then you have the top coat? Well, prepping the skin is like the base coat. It gets everything ready to go on flawlessly. And after we tone her skin, we are going to moisturize her skin. I'm going to take a little moisturizer and a flat foundation brush. I'm going to just apply it all over her skin. And I'm going to go around the mouth and down the nose. And after I moisturize her skin, I'm going to put a little lip balm on her to keep her lips moisturized. Have your lips together for me. Good. And then after we do that, that's going to get done before we apply all types of makeup that you do. You're gonna always prep the skin before you put your makeup, before you do your makeup application. And after I prep her skin, I'm gonna look back at her skin again, and I'm gonna just assess what she needs foundation wise, concealer wise, contour wise. I see she have just a little redness in her skin, so I'm gonna prime her skin, but I'm gonna prime it with a green concealer to cancel out the red that's under her eyes. The primer with the same foundation brush that I applied the moisturizer. I'm gonna go in where her skin is red, which is right under her eyes, a little on her eyelid, around her nose. And when you're putting on moisturizer or primers, you want to make sure you're dabbing it into the skin. You don't want to rub against, because that removes the product. When you dab it, it keeps the product in place and helps it settle into your skin. And after we prep the skin, we're going to put the base color of her foundation on, which is the shade that's going to go all over her face. I'm using a cream foundation by Mayron. And for now, I'm still using the same foundation brush. I'm gonna put a little around her cheeks. I'm gonna just put this foundation all over her skin. They have different types of foundations. They have the most popular ones are creams. They have liquids. They also have powders. What I would say is choose the best foundation for your skin type. Like, I have a very oily skin type, so I like powder foundations on myself because the powder helps keep the shine off of my face. And I live in New Orleans, so we have a lot of humidity, so I try to stay away from oil-free makeup foundations. And it depends on what type of coverage you want to get. So like for full coverage, I'll use a cream, which is what I'm using on Dawn. But you can sheer it out with a little moisturizer if you don't want too much coverage. The creams is more flexible. It gives you more playroom. You want to catch under the neck because you don't want the neck in your head to look two separate colors. So that's not cute. You want everything to blend. And you can also use your fingers to blend makeup in. If you're doing it yourself as a makeup artist, I try not to use my fingers too much because of sanitary purposes. But your finger carries body heat. So when you're trying to get that makeup really good into your skin, your finger, the body heat from your finger is what's going to help it go flawlessly or seamlessly into your skin. I'm going to take a step back and see how this foundation is looking. Looks like a pretty good base color. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a lighter shade, about 2 shades lighter than my model, and I'm gonna apply it under her eyes, down the center of her nose, around her chin. I'm gonna apply it in areas where the sun would normally hit. So if you're walking outside and you feel the sun on your face, you generally feel it on the bony structures of your face. So right in the middle, you feel it down your nose, right on your cheek. So that's why I'm gonna apply the lighter color. Oh, look up for me. And I'm gonna place it right under her eye. I'm not gonna place it all the way up to her lash line because we can blend that in. If you place it all the way under, it tends to crease and we don't want any creases. Also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a sunburst motion, like I'm gonna drag it down just a little. This is good for when you're taking photos. You know how sometimes you put concealer under your eyes and you snap a picture and then you see like, ooh, that person have on a lot of concealer because it's not blended down. So I'm gonna blend it down just a little to give it more of a natural look. And then in this case, I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna still have my model looking up, and I'm gonna press it in. And you should be able to see how it's starting to blend into her skin. And you see I'm not pulling away because when you pull away that removes the products. I'm just pressing down. Let me know if I'm hurting you. Pressing down. I'm pulling away on the ends because that's how we had the product. I'm gonna step back. And she should just look a little brighter. You should be able to see the difference between this eye and that eye. If you want to blend it a little bit more, you could take a beauty blender and go under and dab. I made a boo-boo. I'm gonna go over to her other eye and do the same thing. And you just have to remember that makeup is a personality, so you still want to have fun with it. I always say there's no rules to makeup. There are certain techniques to give you desired looks, but makeup is an art, so who am I to shun black lip liner, you know? I don't think it's cute, but somebody else might, so that's what they want to express in their personality that day. So just keep that in mind. Makeup is a personality. Have fun with it. It's like you're painting your face. Your face is the canvas. But also, just always remember to take a step back when you're doing your makeup, because sometimes you can get so caught up in it to where you just like overload on the products, and then when you take a step back, you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have put that much. And you want to be careful with your lighting. You always want to choose your foundation colors and your concealers in the daylight, because that's your most natural light. But what I always do, I take a picture with the flash on, because that'll give you your true, that'll show you how you truly look as well. So I think her skin is still kind of looking like skin, which is what we are aiming to do for this look. So next, I'm going to go down her nose with this lighter color. I'm going to make another little sunburst I like making sunbursts. In the middle of her forehead, because remember we said that's where the sun would naturally hit it, so that's where you want to put your lighter shades. And then you can take, I'm gonna use my beauty blender for this one, and I'm gonna just dab it in. I'm dabbing, I'm not rubbing away. And then we're gonna go right under her chin. Make a little sad face. Well, that's not a really good sad face, but you get the picture. I'm gonna blend that in. Blending is always key. And I'm gonna go on top of her lips, right where this little arch points down. And add a little right there. I'm gonna step back to see what I did. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna contour. So with the concealer and with the highlight, remember I did a shade or two lighter than her skin tone. With the contour, you're gonna do the same thing, except you're gonna choose one shade or two shades deeper than her skin tone. I'm gonna take another round brush. It's just a little fatter than the other one that I had. And I'm gonna have my Marika sour face. And I'm gonna go from like the end of her sideburn down to where her pupil is. Like that. With this color. And keep doing that for me. You never want to bring your contour too far down, because when you bring it down and you blend it, when you're blending it, some of it might come down onto the bottom half of her face, and that'll make her look old versus young. So you gotta be careful with that. I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. And then I'm going to go around her temples, around her hairline. I'm gonna make that a little deeper. Because skin, you have to remember that everyone is about 3 different shades. Like nobody is, you're not gonna walk up to a person unless they're probably like an alien or something and see like their face like all one shade. They're always gonna be lighter in some part of their face, and some part of their face they're always gonna be darker. So with makeup, you're still trying to achieve that, but you're just trying to make it look flawless in the process of achieving that. A little bit more, and I'm gonna go under. So contour would go the places where the sun don't hit, which is usually under the face, right in this area, on the sides of the nose, and around your hairline. Now this part is tricky. We're gonna contour her nose as well. But getting the line straight could be a little tricky sometimes. I'm still trying to master it. I'm gonna go on the side of her nose with the contour. I'm doing that with a smaller flat brush. Everybody does it with a different brush, which is fine. That goes into me saying makeup is a personality. It's what works best for you. So that side looked pretty straight. Let's try to get the other side straight. If you don't get the contouring straight on the nose, then it's gonna look like she have a crooked nose or a broke nose. And that's good for the stage if you're trying to, you know, show a character that have a broke nose, but that's not what we're trying to do today. Looking really straight. Proud of myself. I'm just gonna bring it down. And I'm gonna put just a tad on the tip of her nose. You want to step back, look at what you did. And I'm gonna take a bigger brush. Let's see. It's similar to a stipple brush, it's flat. I'm gonna take this brush and I am going to blend everything that I did. You want to be careful when you're blending because you don't want everything to look muddy. And when you take a step back and look, you could you can see if you want to deepen things up a little. You can always, it's always easier to apply less makeup and add on top of it. Highlight it or contour just a tad bit more. You can go back and add that in. But just for this natural look, I think it's pretty good with where it's at. When you use a stipple brush and you stipple in, it's blending, but it's also helping give it that dewy look. And like I said, you can use your fingers. I'm gonna take a step back. I think I kind of lost my contour on this side, so I'm gonna go and add a little bit more. And to accentuate the contour, you can go back with the base shade, which is the first shade that we use, and you could like place it right under your for the cheeks. You could place it right under where you contoured that, and that's gonna give it a sharper, crisper edge. It all depends on what look you're trying to achieve. Right under where we did the contour, and I'm gonna just go ahead and blend that in. Next, I'm gonna go to her eyebrows. In this video, Beyonce eyebrows were filled in just a little, not a lot. So I'm going to choose to fill her eyebrows in with like a brown eyeshadow. That way it still give it that natural look. When you're filling eyebrows in, you gotta remember that towards the ends of the brow is where the most color is. So you don't wanna go and place your product like right towards the beginning part of the brow because that's what's gonna make it look not natural. I'm gonna put just a little on the ends of her brow. And I'm going to just brush them. Keep them a little messy. She had hers a little messy. I'm going to take a clear mascara. And I'm going to go back over her brow with a clear mascara. It's going to help set everything in place. And we're going to go and do the other eyebrow.
One, two, three, four.
Beyonce's video Ghost, she wore pretty much just a simple pullback ponytail off her face. So today I'm going to show you how to create that ponytail. I've already bumped the wand's hair so that once I put it in a ponytail it'll just fall nice. What I'm going to do is first, Beyonce had a part straight down the middle. Take my brush and just smooth it out. Then to help it lay down on the sides, I'm going to take some Kenra conditioning cream hair dress. And rub it in my hands and just rub it onto her hair in the front. And when moisturizing your hair, you want to pretty much use a cream based product so that your hair doesn't end up looking oily. And then I'm going to take some Kenra Edge Tamer. If you have any unruly hairs in the front, you just take and put it on there. And I'm going to smooth it out. Have it all smooth all the way around. I'm gonna get ready to put her
ponytail in it. You also want to make sure all your hairs in the back are laying down. Mine are not, so I'm going to take some off right up. And gripping the hair as tight as you can. Roll that around. And I have enough give to double it. And then of course some hairs come out. So we're just gonna take the brush and go back and smoothing everywhere that needs to be touched up. Take my little kindergarten hairbrush here and get all those places that are hard to get. Because Sawan's hair is short, she has some pieces that won't lay. So we're just going to take a bobby pin. You should get a bobby pin that's closer to your hair color so that they're not obvious. We're just going to take the pins and push up the little flower hairs in the back. Sticking them in where they can be pretty much invisible. Go back and help some of her ponytail just to make it a little smoother. Everywhere that needs to be touched up. And there you have it.